Nice little video drop in. We're getting ready to finish up with the third Olympiad, going on the fourth, so we're pretty well mid game. And we have let me see here. It looks to me like this is the last of the card play. Yeah, last card play of the third Olympiad, and we'll be going on with 6 game turns of the fourth here after this. But right now, on our last card play, the old Athenians drew the traitor card, the Alcibiades, or whatever his name is, and had to switch the cards. So the Spartans got this Athenian card, and the Athenians got the Spartan card, and the Athenians got the short end of it because they gained a movement point. But anyway, let's look at what's going on here. The Spartans are building up. We're building up here. We want to try to make a push. That's the only thing we really can do. Unfortunately, Sparta has only got 1 unit on there. Another thing we're doing is building up here. We might try a big push towards the end of the game, but we need points. We're down 16 points to 23 as a Spartan player. So we're building up, getting some forces along the border there, maybe going for a push. They haven't really had the movement points to do anything up here yet, so I thought I could choose my movement points wisely. As far as the Athenian player, we stopped any push. I think we reinforced these islands up here a little bit. And like I said, the Athenian player really hasn't had the movement points really. Athens has only got 2 units on it, and that's kind of risky for both the Athenian and the Spartan player to have their capitals that lightly defended. But I think there's some nice units on there, and they're thinking that nobody can really come right on in, especially in Sparta's case, that Athens could be blockaded. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, another thing, I think Athens has got walls on it. Yeah, it's a walled city. But Sparta is an unwalled city because, well, of course, as the rules say, Spartans considered it wasn't manly to have walls. There you go. All right. Like I said, that's about it. I did move some units on up here to Patadia, so we kind of reinforced it up there, and to exchange some weaker units that were here on up that way, and some stronger units back here to help out this island. Now with the 3 movement points, the Spartan player is going to take a chance, there's a unique mechanic of the game. We're going to spend all 3 on a 3 strength Tyrants block. We're going to put this Tyrants block in, I believe. I'm still looking, but one of these hopefully weaker. We'll find out what the opponent is, but it's just a revolt. We're putting a revolt in the city, and hopefully they'll only get 1 chance, so they got to roll really good on their B3s to eliminate them, because if they don't eliminate them, the revolt's crushed and eliminated. But we will be able to weaken a unit, maybe for some blockades to come. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with the revolt. We'll be right back. Well, I'm just taking a wild guess. And like I said, my memory's not that good. I have no idea what these hidden blocks that the number 1 building point rated city probably be lighter defended. So we'll go ahead and put and it's closer to our main objective. So we'll put the unit there, and I will spend all 3 of the Spartan points. Spartan card goes into the discard pile. And I wanted to mention the Players Aid guys. I'm watching their videos, and they got a freaking game going on here in St. Louis. Some kind of it's in some guy's basement. He says he's got a big old basement, so he's probably, who knows where he lives. Might be Town and Country, Ladue, or something like that. But they're going. I think they drive all the way from Indianapolis too. I think it's a 4-hour drive here to St. Louis. But I got themselves I think they call it a basement con. So it's probably, just a group of friends. But I did leave a mention that, hey, you guys want another player, need an extra player for basement con, I'm in the area. But hold on a second, cough. All right, I don't know how much that you cost, but the Rebels just roll 1 dice, looking for a 3, and they didn't get it. So the rebellion's crushed. The Hoplites got a good couple hits on the Rebels in their first strike, so the rebellion never stood a chance. That'll take care of the old Spartan turn. We'll return with the Athenians. They get 2 movement points. We'll be back. Alright, the thought process for the Athenians at this point in the game is got a whole bunch of units up here. All those blue units I could use. I got a hold of the city. Old Pella. And, yeah, the Spartans definitely need to take a shot at that city, but it's the Athenian turn. And I need to hit these Spartans that are out in the open. Like I said, they're tough. I don't know what kind of units I got there. I'm going to look around, but yeah, trying to free up some units. But the thing of it is, the Spartan units are pretty tough, and it might take all these units to wipe them out. But if I could use those units elsewhere. Another thought process is I wouldn't mind giving a chance on some of these Spartan spots where they got 3 blocks, 4 blocks. I mean, I'm sure they're pretty strong. But the only problem is access with these mountain passes and stuff down there at Thermopylae. You can only move 1 unit in at a time. It almost has to be in a coordinated attack from this hex side, this hex side, this hex side. But you know, that's an Armageddon shot. He's probably got it strengthened as the attacker. If he goes into the city, it's gonna be an attrition. So, like everybody said, nobody really fights here. There's a military reason for it. Alright, well I still got 2 moves here for my Athenian player, so I'm going to maybe take my time. This might take a while. I got some stuff to do, and it is so nice out. That's why my work is calling me. It's turning out really nice, so I might go outside a little bit, give the game a break. But it's nice to look around. Just come by here, sit around. What's nice about solo play, man, that's another thing. I really have never, you take your times with these turns here. Like I said, some of these turns when I'm really busy takes 2 or 3 days for a move. It's like a play by email game. But I'm curious as to one of these, like, when you play opponents on some of these games, do you have like a little sand timer? Because they're not going to put up with all this, waiting and see what's going on. So it's kind of another thing about the real life opponents. You really don't have that much time. You got to make your decisions. So just make a note. We'll be back from the war room section of the man cave, enjoying our time, our vacation. Great gaming season. Gaming season 2021, 2022 was very good. One of the better ones. We'll be back. All right, now as far as the strategy of cutting off the Spartan food supply there at Syracuse, I did that in one game before, and like I said, as soon as you attack them, I think Syracuse has got the biggest amount of, well, let's see here. Is that Syracuse? Yeah, they got the biggest armies out of all the different neutrals. So you have to face them. And that's another thing. They had like 4 units, and I'm like, when I thought that the hex per block stacking limit was 4, I'm like, how in the heck? I mean, it just didn't work out. I should have realized it, but I had swept by the rules, and it said 4 per hex stacking. It didn't say nothing about per team, but whatever, we'll get past that. Yeah, when you do attack them, they could garrison the hell out of Syracuse. Plus, as the Athenian player, I'm in the driver's seat, so I don't care. I mean, and as soon as I do, the Spartan player gets a big building point bonus with these cards. Like I said, these cards are an optional rule. We both took them from our hand from the first game turn of the first Olympiad, and placed them in this little pool spot here, and we'll disregard whoever attacks this number, and we'll use these cards values, which most likely is more than 4, but it could be less, I guess. Could be 2 0 cards. So that's what's going on there. We thought about an attack here, but they're probably strong. I weaken myself around here. I guess the only option for me is to go after these units. I don't see anything else unless I go after. Well, let me look up the coast here. Maybe we'll try some backdoor attacks or something. We'll be back. Got 2 movement points for the Athenian player. All right, for one of my movements, I'm going to take my trireme out of practice. I'm going to operationally move him down here. I think he's got a 4 hex range. Let me make sure on that before I do that. Yeah, he's got a 4 hex range. I just move him down here. What his target will be is trying to control one of these ports here. I can start bringing some units on in, or I could have stopped him here, I guess. Either or. That's about it for that unit. We got one more point. The thing with it is you don't have to use them, but I will try to use it. Try to see what's going on. I can move some more units and just uh, put a little threats every once in a while everywhere. Well, that's a weak tri-raid unit. He retreated back there, and I got to remember to reinforce these units in these major cities. That's why I put them there for the next. As a matter of fact, after this card play, it'll be the reinforcement phase. I can take all those weak units and reinforce them up. Got a bunch of building points to do it with. Alright, we'll look for who else we'll move here. Your practice is awfully weak. Oh, that might not have been a good move. We'll be back. Alright, for my second Athenian move, I'm going to move from a strategic move from a friendly port. This hoplite back to Neil practice. Reinforce that area because I don't. That's too tempting. I don't want to lose the. It's only one BP, but it'll help me out too. Put some units that need to be there. All right. Well, that'll take care of the Athenian turn. Over on this card pile, we are ready for the reinforcement phase. The Athenians will have. Well, I'll be right back. All right, we're done with the third Olympiad. Going on the fourth. In between Olympiads, you have your replacements. And here you can see the Athenians have 23 replacement points versus the Spartan 16. And we got a little homemade abacus down here as we go spinning points. You can see that's the deal on that one there too. So we'll go ahead and maybe we'll let you in on me spinning points on units to show you how that's done. I'm going to take a break here in my part of the game, and by the magic of television, you'll just wait a minute, but hey, it could be a month. Alright, another little thought process. I told you I wanted a website for old Olympiad games, and they got a bunch of good block games. And when I was looking at, the only bad thing with Mark Herman's games is they're almost too complicated. That's one thing I was finding out about his game Pericles. As man, you know, he can get into some mechanics. It's like mechanics upon mechanics upon mechanics, which is all right, you know, if you're into that. I mean, there's a point. I'm at a stage here where I'm kind of getting into more mechanics after coming off of these easier magazine games, some decision games. But what was my thought process? Oh, I did notice on there that there was a game. It was a block game for the Pacific Theater, and Mark Herman's got his good old GMT version, which is a Mark Herman game, and he has to he does his videos, which makes it pretty clear. But you know, and I like anything else in life, you get it down pat, you do it enough, and it'll be like, you know, you'll do it in your sleep. You know, you can do it in your sleep. But they have a Pacific Theater game. It's a block game, and man, it's from Olympiad Games. It looks like what's really weird about it is it's got a Dice Tower game review featuring the chef or the chief, and it's old. I don't know how old. I've been playing. It's more than 5 years old because the chief looks different. They got and forgive me if I don't know his name, but it's another one of his ham tag friends with him, and he looks so totally different. So yeah, that was an old video. So that Pacific War by Olympiad Games, the block game version, is something I'm really looking at next. And just giving it a thought. You know, it might not be any. If it'll have some mechanics, and like I said, I'll check out the review from the chief. But why do I always want to say chef? It's just the goofiest thing. I know they're spelled the same, but I'm not looking at the spelling. But anyway, that's about it. Checking out some block games. Getting into these block games. Maybe I'll get another one. I think the only one I got, I think is block games. Triumph and Tragedy, Field of Despair. And that's it. 3 block games. Well, I ain't got much of a collection though, but that's pretty good. You can tell I like block games. Alright, we'll be back.